Shia Muslims gather for prayer at the historic Imam Ali Mosque in Najaf. Under Saddam, such scenes of devotion were discouraged and at times ruthlessly punished. Freedom has brought new dangers, but Iraq's 14 million Shias can now live and worship openly. The market used to be full of secret policemen spying on the clerics at Shia Islam's holiest site. These days the spies have gone, along with the pictures of Saddam Hussein. They've been replaced by images of Shia saints and portraits of the grand Ayatollahs. It's hard to underestimate the importance of Najaf to Shiites. Imagine a holy site which combines the spiritual resonance of Jerusalem with the theological clout of the Vatican, and you'll get close. And that's because Imam Ali, the first Shia leader and cousin to the Prophet Muhammad, was buried here around 1400 years ago. Najaf's renaissance has sparked a revival in the city's Hawza, or seminary. Shias make up 60% of Iraq's population, and while Saddam ruled, these houses of learning were empty. Today, the classes spill out onto the street. But Najaf's rebirth has provoked a power struggle with the holy city of Qum in Iran. While Najaf suffered under Saddam, Qum gradually became Shia Islam's capital city. Thama Musavi is torn between the two cities. 15 years ago, he fled from Iraq after being forced to fight the Iranians in a bloody 8-year war. Safely settled in Qum, Thama became a cleric, his studies paid for by the Iranian government. But he always yearned to return to his personal and spiritual home in Najaf. Thama is one of hundreds of Iraqi clerics now caught up in this battle of wills between Qum and Najaf. Iran's religious leaders are keen to maintain Qum's supremacy because it allows Tehran to monitor and actively influence Shia thinking. The presence of so many Iraqi clerics in Qum also reinforces Iran's claim to be the motherland of Islam. Another Najaf exile, Falah Alevi, faces the same dilemma. He fled to Qum after Saddam's police arrested one of his friends. He wants to return home. For now, though, his only contact with Najaf comes from Iraqi market traders in Qum, who've recently made tentative trips back to their homeland.
شلون الوضع خليته؟ والله الوضع تعبان كلش. وين وصلت اليوم كان؟ وصلت كربلاء النجف الكويت بغداد. تعبان من يا ناحية يعني؟ من الناحية الاقتصادية. من الناحية الاقتصادية. اي يعني الكهرباء ما قاعدة على نفس لا هسه شوي أفضل تحسنت الكهرباء والماء تحسنت قبل كان مثلا تنقطع 4 ساعات 5 ساعات. هسه لا هسه مثلا ساعة تنقطع نص ساعة الماء هسه يعني زين.
The border between Iran and Iraq is still closed. Until it reopens, Falah and Thama will have to remain in Iran, 700 miles away from their Najaf home. They aren't the only people who want to leave Qum. Many Iranian clerics, tired of Tehran's meddling in religious matters, also want to head for Najaf, the true home of the Shia faith. In private, they complain that Qum, the town where Ayatollah Khamenei began his Islamic revolution, has lost its way, that it's become a mouthpiece for the Tehran government.
این که یک عده تلاش میکنن حوزه علمیه قم رو متکی به حکومت بکنن ولو حکومت در دست روحانیت هست این یک آفته. حوزه های علمیه شیعه در طول تاریخ تشیع همیشه جدای از دولت ها و حاکمیت ها بوده، همیشه جدا بوده که بتونه نقد منصفانه خودش رو داشته باشه.
این بقیه اساسمون هم جمع کردیم هم منتظریم
Thama has had his bags packed for over a month, ready to head back to Najaf. But before he goes, there's an awkward bit of personal business to sort out. Thama told us that he'd left behind a wife and child in Iraq, facts which he'd only recently shared with his Iranian wife. Thama's now waiting nervously for his father-in-law. He wants his second wife to go to Iraq with him, to join his first wife and family.
و شما کاری به ما کردیم اول نگفتی من خانم داشتم اونجا اگه خانم داشتم اونجا
این موقعیتش نیست به شما نگفتم به خانمم گفتم خانمم میدونه
خانمتون باید به منم گفته باشه حالی به منم باید گفته باشی حالا قول بچه‌ها گفته حالا داریم داشته باش شما با امورت بذاره داشته باش داشته باش
باشه
خب اگه به شما میگفت من خانم دارم شما چیکار میکردین؟
نمیدادیم ردن چیزا میکردین؟
ازدواج نمیکردین باشه کس دلتون میخواد بکنی الان
ازدواج
شما میخواد دلتون بکنی و سلام دیگه این موقعیتش نیست زشت عیب خجالت میده اون آقا چیکار داره به این کار
But the Najaf which Thama and Fala are returning to remains a troubled city. Memories of the Saddam era are still strong. But other older memories are also coming to the surface. A landlord explains that this is where the leader of the Iranian revolution, Ayatollah Khomeini, came to live in exile in the 1960s and 70s. This is the first time it's been filmed and is in a surprisingly neglected state. It's where Khomeini wrote his hugely influential book on Islamic government. The landlord hasn't let it to anyone else since his famous tenant left in 1978.
هذا البراني كان هنا يلتقي مع طلاب العلم طلاب الحوزة العلمية يعطي دروس بيهن وكان هذا موجود سرداب لمنامه وراحته أي هذا موجود سرداب غريب وسرداب السن اللي أغمق يصير.
Others have harsher memories of recent years. Shia cleric Mohammed Jafar Hakim lost his 2 sons to Saddam's secret police. He was also tortured for belonging to a prominent Shia family.
عدزین بردم در اتاق مال شکنجه گذاشتم در سقف همون تعمیر کردن دست من گذاشتن همون دار طبعا به برهن خالی خود دیگر کهربا چیز دیگر خیلی یعنی با چوبه با چیز دیگر خیلی کهربا خیلی شلوغ بودن گذاشتم اینجا 2 چیزی نمیدونم چی میگن و خودشون یک سویچ دارد نمیدونم خیلی اهتزاز میکنم خیلی تأثیره اونم یعنی زبان ما به همین طور خیلی تقاطع کردن نبود به این حال.
It's over 6 months since Saddam Hussein was deposed, but beneath the surface in Najaf there are still unresolved tensions. Mainstream Shias have agreed to stay out of politics so long as the Americans stay out of their city. As a result, Spanish and Honduran troops patrol the city's outskirts. But the assassination of the moderate Shia leader Mohammed Bakir Hakim in August showed that peace will not come easily. On the fringes, extremist clerics like Muqtada al-Sadr are stirring up anti-American feeling. His supporters are mainly young, unemployed men who've gained nothing from the unspoken agreement between Shia leaders and the Americans. Al-Sadr's followers recently killed 3 American soldiers and injured several Iraqis. Al-Sadr and his supporters are dressed in white robes to show their willingness to die in the fight against America. Al-Sadr also wants Iraqis to set up an alternative Islamic government, separate from the one supported by the Americans in Baghdad. It may sound exactly like the kind of thing Iran wants to hear from its neighbour, but mainstream Iraqi clerics are more interested in modernising their schools than getting involved in government. They don't want to repeat what they see as the mistakes of Iran, where Islam got entangled with politics.
The involvement of the clergyman in the day-to-day business in Islamic Republic of Iran, it's reduced the status of the Hawza Almiya and the schools in Iran in general, and especially in Tehran.
Back in Qom, Tamer's domestic troubles are still unresolved. As his daughter looks on, he insists he will return to Najaf.
منم زندگی منم تصمیمش میگیرم کسی حق نداره تصمیم میکنه زندگی منم هر کس میشه یعنی بدار مادر هر کس حق نداره.
No such personal problems for Fallah. He and his daughter Fatima are ready to leave Qom, though they're still waiting for the official opening of the border. All of Fallah's religious books are packed away in banana boxes. Like his fellow clerics, he's keen to make a fresh start in Najaf, back in his old seminary. The Najaf where Fatima will grow up will be free of Saddam's tyranny. But as Muqtada al-Sadr's recent activities have shown, some Iraqis are determined to establish an Iranian-style government. The outcome of that struggle will set the course for Najaf's future, and with it, the destiny of Iraq.